What's up, you all? Hope you all having a great evening. Tonight, I'm doing part two of the Queen's quest to rule the world. And I talked about how, women, specifically Black women, wanted to rule the world through Kamala. If you think about it, Kamala Harris pretty much embodied what the modern day woman is. She had an emasculated husband who I believe is, LGBTQ, but emasculated and possibly gay husband. She has a quest for power. She's very loose through her dating years in the streets, so to speak. Not really of any substance, all for show. Whoever she's around, that's who she's going to, try to impress. Is just she embodies what she doesn't have any children. So she embodies what the modern day woman is. And so I believe that subconsciously Black women and many other women thought that they could rule the world through Kamala. And thank God it didn't happen. And also I said in a video today that I believe that, this campaign was a way to sift through your base. So I believe that what the liberals are doing now, what the libtards and Democrats and Marxists and communists and globalists are doing now is they're securing their base. And so they want a radicalized base, meaning they don't want anybody with any sense, any logic. They don't want, so the first casualty of this war was Black men. Second casualty was Hispanic men. Notice the trend. You get rid of your I guess what you would call minority or POC voting bloc. You attack the men, you attack the men of both Black and what you would call brown, and then now it's the women you have left. Now you have the women left of those demographics. So now it's Hispanic women and it's Black women. And then obviously they have the LGBTQs on board. They obviously have the libtard white women, and they also have the weak men. So if you notice this election, what they did was trim off all of the excess voters of their base that would somehow have some kind of sense. And so now moving forward, they're going to be totally radical. They're going to be an irrational, but radical and willing to mobilize and willing to be galvanized. They will welcome a battery in their back. They will welcome kamikaze missions. They will riot, loot, pillage, and plunder in the name of communism and globalism. That's what I believe this election was about. They drew a hard line in the sand. That's why when it comes to them talking about what's the solution, they're pointing fingers at Black men and Hispanic men because they're trying to separate the families. And they know that once women are single and, for the streets, it's over. And so that's what I believe this was about. But today is part two of the Queen's quest to rule the world. So let's get into it. I'm gonna say what's up, folks on YouTube. What's up, Ashley? What's up, Sewing for Night? What's up, Realtor? What's up, Pamela? What's up, The Ice Cold Wolf? What's up, Tierra? What's up, Cruise Missile? What's up, Pamela? Thank y'all for these early super stickers. Thank y'all so much. What's up, y'all? Now let's get started. Let's get started.
We had a Black Project 2025. Hear me out. I know it sounds crazy, but this is my vision. What if all of us were to get into a group? Okay, I'm talking doctors, lawyers, engineers. There's so many of us that are so talented, and we were to work together with our own Black agenda for 2025. I'm talking opening up Black-owned grocery stores in certain cities, Black-owned banks, so that way we can actually get our home loans and do what we need to do, our own doctor's offices, our own law practices, and we really were to just congregate and push towards our goals and our outcomes, right? And so this is how I envision it going. We can all get into this group. We can all donate what we have to donate on a monthly basis. And then basically we can have a CEO, we can have a CMO, and we can have a CFO that's in charge of leading the groups with the initiatives, right? We could have bi-weekly, monthly calls in regards to where we stand with our goals. So, okay, guys, we want a Black-owned grocery store in Los Angeles built and developed, August 2025.
It's not going to work. And it's not going to work because Black people don't have enough character to do that. Black people don't have enough character to do something like that. There'd be so much money stolen, taken away. Black people that, with that amount of money going through a CEO's hands and a CFO's hands and a board's hands and that will never happen, ever. Black folks don't have enough character to pull that mission off. I mean, it sounds good, but it's foolish. And it's foolish because the foundation of doing it is based on Blackness, which means it's bound to fail. It's not they're not righteously trying to do this. They're doing this in response to Project 2025, which means that your intent isn't a godly intent. If you really want to do it, you should want to do it without Project 2025. And your version of Project 2025 is propaganda anyway. You never read it. So you don't even know what it even says.
This is where we stand. This is how much we have funded. This is what's needed. This is where we are in the process. And we just go from there. And so we can just kind of congregate. And then on top of that, in this group, we could also just have a massive directory of Black-owned businesses. So that means that everyone that joins this group swears off of purchasing from these large corporations. I'm talking Black-owned coffee brands, clothing, everything you guys can think of, toiletries, like down to everything, like body washes, everything we use and consume on a daily basis. It is no longer purchased from these large corporations. It is purchased from one another. And I think that we can create so much wealth amongst ourselves just by strictly swearing off of supporting large corporations and only supporting one another, and also congregating to create our own agenda. Now, I know that there have been people who have tried to do this before in the past, and I know that we struggle as a community to trust one another. I don't really care about all that right now.
So again, it's not going to work because Black culture is a culture of low character. So again, when you mention that you can't trust these Black people, you know you can't. What Black persons are you going to get that you can trust? Please tell me. What Black person are you going to trust with millions of Black people putting money into something? Who are you going to trust? Black folks sell out for the pennies. And again, it's not going to work because Black folks are not going to want to give up these name brand things. They're not. You're telling them to give up Gucci and Louis and Fendi. You want them to swear off all these name brand products? Are you crazy? Black folks don't produce any vehicles, so they're going to have cars. You mean to tell me you want these Black people to give up on the very things that they stunt with? No, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're not going to give up these designers and name brand stuff or not go to these resorts owned by white people. Like, they're not going to do it. They're going to fly on planes owned by white people or Jewish people. They're going to, or Chinese or Indian people, wherever country they're going to, they're going to hop on a plane owned by the folks of that country. So products, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And you can't trust the folks to run it properly. Can someone please tell me what has been all Black and has been run or ran well. The last Black-owned HBCU they had was Morris Brown, and they got shut down because they were stealing money. Name me something that's all Black and is ran properly. HBCUs now are not owned by Black people, but they're ran by Black people and they're terrible. So my question is, what do Black people run and it's functioning well? Alton Hussey said, I nominate you, Blanche, to be the treasurer. I trust you. If I'm the treasurer, they're going to want to get me because I'm going to say, okay, well, show me why you should get this amount of money. Explain to me like I'm five, how this is going to make everybody, like they're not going to want me to be the treasurer. I won't take any slick talking, no jive talking, no coming up, hey man, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not, it's not going to work. So they're not going to want me to be the treasurer. I'm just, they come to me and say, we need 2 million. I say, I'll give you 200,000, no, dollars. Do good by that $200 and I might give you 400. T said Magic City. Yes, T, Magic City is still functioning. Yes. Magic City is still, yes. Magic City is T. T said Magic City is a strip club here in Atlanta, and Magic City is still functioning properly. It is. But what else? Now, Magic City is dealing with a bunch of strippers. You know, it's a different kind of subculture. But what mainstream culture businesses Black people are running and it's done successfully? 96% of Black-owned businesses don't have any employees. Trey said, what about Roscoe? It's possible is Roscoe's owned by somebody? My question is, let's see who owns Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle before I go. Let me see who owns Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle. Herb Hudson is the founder and owner of Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles. Hudson, a Harlem native, opened the first Roscoe's in Long Beach in 1975. He was inspired by Wells' famous home of chicken and waffles in Harlem, New York. East Coast Foods is the parent company that owns several Roscoe's restaurants in the Los Angeles area. In 2018, East Coast Foods was in the midst of a reorganization to pay off the soul food chain's debts. In 2016, East Coast Foods filed a Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection after a judge ordered the company to pay a former employee $3.2 million in a wrongful termination and discrimination lawsuit. So, East Coast Foods is a parent company that owns several Roscoe's restaurants in the Los Angeles area. But the original owner was Herb Hudson. Jay Green said funeral homes. Well, yeah, funeral homes, I mean, usually it's kept in the family and it's always a supply of Black folks dying. But yeah. Well, let's continue.
Personally feel like if we are able to put our pride aside and get it done, I feel like it could be one of the most impactful things done in Black history. Like maybe there is a silver lining in Kamala not being able to get into office because as a community, we just become that much more tight knit. Do you get where I'm coming from? I don't know. I know it sounds crazy, but I just feel like this is something that we should do. And I feel like
and Stem said this, the delusional black woman. Black women out of any other group in the country live in the most delusion. I don't know what world she lives in or what black folks she's been around, but I can assure you she has to be delusional. There's no way you could be around black folks and think this is going to work. It's just not. I remember they had, what's that thing called where each person in the group invests the money and then somebody gets the money? It's called something. Help me out. It's like where a group of people come together and they all donate the money, and then one person gets the money and starts their business, then they go to the next person. Yeah, it's a pit. Yeah, it's a pit. Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme, yes. Nadine says Susu. Okay, yeah. So a Susu, man, every Susu I've been told of always ended with somebody running off with the money. Every Susu ended with somebody running off on the plug. And every Susu I've known have been done with black people. And every time they run off on the plug. But yeah, very delusional, because she clearly does not know what black culture is. A lot of this is from programming and propaganda as well. But let's continue.
Hey Oprah, good morning. How are you, darling? You looking very good. How do you think the election went?
Not talking about the election. Thank you very much.
Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Not true, okay.
I was paid nothing, ever.
What do you think about all the celebrities with their mass exodus?
I'm not talking about
Do you think Prince Harry's gonna lose his visa now that Trump's president? Thank you, Oprah.
Now, it's rumored that Oprah got $1 million, and we all know that's true. We all know she got the money. She probably didn't receive it, but she received that money somewhere, and I guarantee it's going to be non-tax. She received $1 million cash. Kamala Harris raised $1 billion and ended up $20 million in debt. So that means that Kamala Harris spent over $1 billion. Of course, Oprah got paid $1 million to do an interview. Like, what are we talking about? But again, Kamala Harris raised $1 billion and left the campaign in debt $20 million. That means she spent over $1 billion. Matter of fact, let's go. Let's go back. Because we can actually have someone talk about that. Although I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see the video I wanted to play.
This work. We're still unpacking.
Well, I can't find that video, but I can play this one.
Why didn't this work? We're still unpacking what exactly happened.
Some of this is pure racism and misogyny.
White supremacist ideology.
uneducated.
Jarrell says she spent $1.6 billion. Now we know that she kept some of that money, right? Now we all know that Kamala Harris kept some of that money. So if she raised $1 billion, she probably kept about $250 million. I mean, you know, because she had to pay these Democrats. So that money went back to the Democratic Party. Joe Biden got a cut. Pelosi got a cut. Whoever was out there in the Democratic Party pushing this thing full steam ahead, they got a cut. Probably Gavin Newsom got a cut. A lot of them black mayors got a cut. So that a lot of that about $250 million went back to the Democrats. Non-taxed money. But let's continue.
Why didn't this work? We're still unpacking what exactly happened.
Some of this is pure racism and misogyny.
White supremacist ideology.
Uneducated white women.
Nostalgia for a past that didn't exist.
The headwinds of the economy.
Misinformation.
The patriarchy.
The American people have given up on democracy.
Latinos in Texas, a district that's 97% Latino, went 75 percentage points for Donald Trump. Why?
Misogyny.
How much of this is just old-fashioned sexism? How much of this is just old-fashioned misogyny?
It's misogyny from Hispanic men. It's misogyny from black men. Not enough people in this country yet believe in the full equality of women.
Among Hispanic men and black men, there's a lot of misogyny.
Might be race issues.
Black voters came through for Kamala Harris. White women voters did not.
A lot of Hispanic voters have problems with black candidates.
I don't put sexism and racism past the United States. I think that for some people that was a factor.
The short answer is the sexism, the misogyny, the racism that is so unquantifiable.
Anyone who has experienced or been in the United States for any period of time cannot have believed that it would be easy to elect a woman president, let alone a woman of color.
Who are we as a country? And we're starting to find out. And from what I'm seeing right now, I'm not sure I like it.
Again, the goal behind this rhetoric is to clean their base out. So the goal is to now you have loyal, extreme Democrats that are very liberal, very Marxist, very communist, very socialist, very unhinged. This is what they want. So they want to alienate anybody or group that is going to not agree with this. So they want to get the men out. The only type of men they want in the party are effeminate or gay men or trans men. That's all they want. They don't want women that respect the patriarchy. They want women that are feminists, lesbians, trans, whatever. That's what they want. So this is a way to solidify their base for the next election. Think about this now. With this type of rhetoric, who are they going to be appealing to? With this type of rhetoric, who are they going to be appealing to? What they're saying is America isn't what we thought, because America is still racist and it's still misogynist. So we got to have a whole different strategy next time and a whole different voter block to appeal to. So now you're about to see them go very extreme in their counters to Donald Trump's policies. They're going to get extremely extreme. But let's continue. Let's continue. Oh, here we go.
I don't know why black people laughing at Latinos and Hispanics, because if he gets away with this whole deportation situation, and he will, black people in the community is affected too. Everybody, all of y'all are gonna be laughing until your Jamaican grandma is gone away. Everybody laughing when the black community is filled of black immigrants as well, stuff like that. Okay, first let me just say this: black people aren't laughing at Latinos because we want something bad to happen to them now. We're not laughing at Hispanics because we are pleased with negative things happening to them or their fear.
Now, who wants to bet that she's going to say something intelligent that makes sense? What's the over or the under on her about to give this long dialogue, and it's going to actually make sense and be coherent and not be foolish? I got Paul said no. Pamela said nada. God is our awesome defender said 0. So let's continue.
One, black people laugh to keep the pain away. And black people are funny as shit. I'm not gonna hold you, because some of these jokes is fucking hilarious. That's just when y'all already know we funny as shit. 2, black people are laughing because we knew. Like, I want y'all to understand something. And I understand that y'all may not like it. And you may not even receive it because it's a black woman telling you this. And we know how y'all feel about black women. Y'all don't never listen to this. But he has a hyper focus on certain people for a reason. And that reason really is because, in my belief, YT people never cared about anybody else but black people. YT people in America see things as black and white. This country has always been black and white to them. And all the rest of y'all in between, that's how they felt about y'all. I know y'all fought so hard to not be in the shadows of black people. Don't treat me like them. I'm not one of them. I'm not black. I'm Hispanic. I'm Latino. Don't do that like that. I'm not a minority. I want to be the model minority. Whatever it was. That's fine. That's cool, because everybody deserves their own identity, and I respect that. We understand that. Nonetheless, YT people never cared. In my prediction, YT people want to get this country back to its original form. Whole Make America Great Again, right? And the original form was, it was black people, Native Americans, and white people. That was it. None of y'all were over here. None of y'all were on the plantation with us. YT people see minorities as support for black people. Black people now know better. You all were able to come over here into this country and live a life of semi-luxury in comparison to us. You all were able to get benefits and privileges off of the backs because of us. YT people gave you adjacency. They gave you the model minority. They gave you a little bit more acceptance. They gave you better treatment, not because they liked you, not because they respected you, not because they seen you as equal, but it was to spite black people.
So she's going in, and there's a lot of programming and propaganda. So she's all over the place, but I'm gonna try to make this plain. So basically she's saying that white people only care about black people. Now she just said that white people wanted to let minorities come to spite black people. In actuality, there is no way to speak for white people, because white people are a diverse group of people. This is a shortcoming of black people from black culture, and it's called context. There's no such thing as white people. You have white people that are liberal. You have white folks that are conservative. You have white folks that vote Republican. You have white folks that vote Democrat. You have white folks that vote Libertarian. You have white folks that don't vote at all. You have white folks that live off grid. You have white folks in every religion. You have white folks that are extreme. Like, you have white people in so many categories. To say white people is really just a very ignorant and uninformed thing to say. Now, when it comes to black people are the most monolithic group in America. That's a fact. And we know this based on how they fall for propaganda and how programmed they are and how they vote. Those are indicators as to how monolithic black people are. The majority of black people believe the media. The majority of black people believe what's told to them on TV. They do. And it's proven when you have a discussion with the average black person. So already she is a very misinformed and ignorant person. The reason why minorities came over here, quote unquote minorities, who have actually been coming over here since the country was formed. If you think about who came over here from Europe, folks have been coming to America since the beginning. So this immigration issue is nothing new in America. It's not. And so again, Native Americans, the Irish, the Polish, the Jews, the French, the Germans, I guess the Africans, the indigenous already here, the whites. I mean, so again, what we see America as today, it's always been. The difference is back then is everybody came and adapted to American culture and life. That's the difference. The difference is people coming to the country and adopting the American way. Once that stopped happening and folks started coming over here with different agendas and cultures that really went against how we live in America, that's when it became a problem. It was not because they wanted to spite Black people. That's not the case. Most people came to America for a better opportunity and a better life. And if you were willing to work, you were welcomed. It's just that simple. If you were willing to work and be a decent human being, you were welcome to come to America. Even the Statue of Liberty, which is socialism, is a woman with a torch lighting the way for folks around the world. So think about the Statue of Liberty. The whole premise of America is for people to come over here and make better of themselves. So she's already wrong. She's already lost. It's just, well, we'll indulge her. Right, just the girl, they bought communism, right. Let's continue.
You came in here on a higher, having a higher stance in the poll or hierarchy poll because of Black people. One, Black people fought for the right for you to even get over here and benefit from things. That's one, and one of the main important situations. And like I said, because two, white people wanted to spite Black people. This is a fight between white America and Black America. It ain't got nothing to do with y'all. So when Black people are laughing, in the sense, we're laughing because there's no gotcha moment over here with us.
So what is this actual fight, though? What is this actual fight? Do you believe that people actually wanted Kamala Harris and it was a racial issue? That's how you know she's lost. Her whole premise is that people didn't vote for Kamala because they perceived that she was a Black woman. That's foolishness. We've had a so-called Black president before, and she's a Black female vice president. Are you crazy? Clearly, race isn't the issue. Matter of fact, they didn't even let her run against other potential candidates who were people of color because they knew she would lose. So again, it's not about race. Nobody's trying to spite Black people. Spite Black folks for what? Black folks have been pretty calm in America and pretty obedient up until the 60s, 50s and 60s. That's when it really took off with communism. But spite Black people for what? So again, this whole thing is not about white or Black with Kamala and Trump. The country is failing. The economy is bad. The borders are flooded. They got this LGBTQ agenda. Like, it's too much. They got all this woke stuff in these schools. It's too much. You can't find anything on TV that isn't woke. Sports is weak, soft. Everybody's hiding. They can't say who they support as a candidate. A bunch of weak men running around. A bunch of maleficent women flying through the air. Like, again, this is not an issue with white or Black. The country is going down the drain. That's why people voted for Trump. Black people are narcissistic. She done reduced this whole thing to Black people and white people. This is most Black women. Most Black women are misinformed, miseducated, uninformed, ill-informed, and just don't really know how things work or know what's going on. Most Black people only know as far as they can reach. If they can't reach out and touch it, it might as well be a million miles away. Let's continue.
See, a group of people that knew that they would be in danger if these people won, there's no gotcha moment. We knew this. The laughter comes from you all that didn't. The laughter, unfortunately, behind some of us comes because you all are experiencing a gotcha moment. The gotcha moment for you all is you all believing that if you chose them, that you would be in favor. You all believing that you were going to escape or rise above or soar above the trauma that everybody like us, black people, were going to receive. The gotcha moment was that you thought, or that you let them convince you constantly that if you aligned yourself with them, that you would be safe.
You have never heard a white person or group say, be like us. Never. You've never heard white people say, be like us. What you saw was white people building a country, putting a structure in place, and then you seeing them being successful by abiding by the rules of that structure. White people don't have to give you all a mass message to do anything. You can see it with your eyes. So when folks came over here, they observed, if I work hard, I'm a decent person, I'm going to come up. This notion that white people are telling, they're not. A white person has never told you black women to put that mess on your head. They've never told you to put that alley cat fur on your head, never. White people have never told you all to put that mess on your head. Y'all came up with that. I've never in my life had a white person tell me to be like white. Never. I've never had it in my life. I've never had a white person say, be like me, be like white people. Never. And this is a byproduct of black culture, to where most black folks don't see the nuance in things, nor they understand context. I was explaining to a guy today, a white guy, I was explaining to him that what people have been calling racism has been a cultural difference. Even if we go to the Bible, when God said stay away from a people, he didn't say stay away from them based on the way they looked. He said stay away from them based on their culture. These people worship other gods. These people sacrifice children. These people are cannibals. It was what they did. It was their culture. So the differences that we are seeing are differences in culture. It's not race. But what nobody wants to say is that there are cultures that are better than other cultures. Nobody wants to say that. Nobody wants to say that there are cultures in the world that are better than other cultures. There are greater and lesser people in the world, and there are also greater and lesser cultures, because greater and lesser people make up cultures. But nobody wants to acknowledge that. So now you have black people with this Acme scheme like Wile E. Coyote, and they can never catch the Roadrunner. Wile E. Coyote wants to catch the Roadrunner. Why? Because he wants to eat him? No. It's ego. It's pride. That's why Wile E. Coyote is trying to catch the Roadrunner. There are plenty of things for that coyote to eat that are easier to catch, but he wants the Roadrunner. And this is black people. Black people are Wile E. Coyote with a lifetime subscription to Acme building Acme trap books. And instead of black people mastering the basics, instead of black people mastering what is simple, like family structure, like community, like work ethic, like a better culture, instead of black people mastering the simple things that everybody else seems to understand, black people love shooting for the stars. They love shooting to the moon. They've never flown a rocket. They never built a rocket, but somehow they feel qualified enough to get in a rocket and go to the moon, not knowing they'll get stuck in the firmament. Black people have overqualified themselves, and they're not qualified at all. This young lady is sitting up here talking and she knows absolutely nothing. But a bunch of black folks are going to agree with her. This is why I say black folks are doomed. I know, Vic. I know, Vic. I was born in the 70s. I know, Vic. But this is why black people are doomed. And they're doomed because they take secondhand information as gospel. They take opinions as facts and truth. This young lady is just running her mouth talking about some nonsense. And the underlining theme of what she's saying is that Kamala didn't get picked, and I wanted her to get picked, but she didn't get picked because of racism. Shelley said, maybe Joe Biden was right when he said all black people think alike. These rats are proving his point. They do. The average black person believes they're oppressed. So if you have a group of people that believe they're oppressed, then an oppressed person's outlook on life is going to be the same as anybody else that feels oppressed. They're going to have a poor outlook on life, and they're going to look for solutions that are easy solutions. And the solutions that black folks have picked is making one black person's accomplishment an accomplishment for all. So how black people have coped with this programming and propaganda is to make themselves one person. So if LeBron James is doing something that's great, then we all are doing something that's great. Black folks are already communists and already primed and ready for communists. They're already ready. Black folks can't wait to be communists.
And the fact is that they convince you that having privilege over rights was better. That's what you voted for. You voted for privilege over rights. And now they're here taking your fucking rights away. So you don't receive any privilege. You see how that fucking goes? Black people have been telling you to follow us for the longest. We've been carrying everything on our shoulders and leading you for the longest. All you had to do was side with us. And you continue to live the level of comfort that you've been living out here in America. Off the backs of us. Out of the spite for us. That they can't stand us. White people have always hyper-focused on black people.
Dang, I couldn't, you know what? This guy just got my live shut down. I was about to block him. I was about to block him, but I couldn't get it fast enough. Dang, I couldn't get him fast enough. Well, I'll try to come back. But look what I mean, right? Somebody coming on your page being racist in the comments. I'm about to block him and he didn't have my live because they report they just so disgusting, man. They are disgusting. They are absolutely disgusting. The Bliggities are disgusting.
He ain't got no beef with Jamaica. He ain't got no beef with Trinidad and Tobago. He ain't got no beef with Grenada, Bahamas, Barbados, Turks and Caicos, Cayman Islands. He don't give a fuck about them. Even though he talks a little shit about Haiti, he don't give a fuck about them either. He don't give a fuck about Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone. He don't give a fuck about none of them. He's not focused on them. My prediction again. YT people would want more black people here because they want to benefit off of our labor. They want to benefit off of our culture. They want to benefit off of us and just completely harass and harm us.
See, I told you. Just lost, stupid, ignorant, don't know anything. Just I'm trying to look at my Instagram account. Yep, removed your comment. Yep. They done suspended my live. Let's see. Sorry about this, y'all. Now, what they'll usually do is they'll say, oh, we'll put your content back, but you still can't go live. You know, it's crazy. Look what they said. You can't start or join live videos till December the 12th. You can't create ads till December the 12th. And I knew that person was on the live, and I saw and sorry about that. I'm just anyway. You know, I knew that he was going to report the live. I knew it. That's why I was just about to block him, and it hit because he was already harassing people in the live, you know, calling them white. They're white, they can't speak. Just, you know, just typical bliggity, just a typical degenerate, you know. But I'm gonna try to go live on this other account real quick. So yeah, I'm gonna go live on this. Okay, so we're back. Hopefully folks have this page. But anyway, but yeah, that person, man, that's just, I knew they were going to do it. I knew it. I knew he was going to do it. I can just tell when they start getting emotional, and they start getting charged up. I can just tell when they start. Anyway, let's continue. But anyway, this young lady's lost in the sauce. But let's continue.
They don't care. So they need you out of the way. Remember when Trump said that immigrants was taking black jobs? You think that he wants to remove us? No, he wants to remove you all who are receiving a level of privilege above black people. Black people still not only had to fight our way to get into places because of YT people, we had to fight to get our places because y'all were getting some level of favor over us, even though you were here and reaping the benefits off of us. So now, not only do they not have to go in competition with the model minority Asian, not only do they have to not go in competition with the Latino, not only do they not have to go into competition with the Middle Eastern, they only have to go into competition with us black people. And if they are majority in the power, you already know what they're going to do. They're going to overpower us. And now those jobs that were black jobs can go right back to us. We can go back to having the low paying jobs. They can kick us.
Anybody come on there here acting stupid, just block them. If they say what's up and they spell it wrong, block them.
Out of the executive positions and the high positions that we had to work 10 times as harder to get, you only had to work 4 times as harder to get. And they'll be back in alignment. Them at the top, us at the bottom, and nobody challenging them in the middle.
This girl has created a whole fictitious, and black folks believe this, by the way. She created a whole, I'll tell you, they're delusional. She created a whole fictitious reality. Listen to what she said. They want black folks at the bottom, as if America did not have a black president before. Like, it's just insanity. It is insane. Black people are represented in every facet of society. Every facet of society. from the president to vice president, governors, mayors, Senate, House, everywhere. Black folks rep CEOs, sports, entertainment, business. Black people are represented in every facet of society.
So I want you to have that understanding. YT people never cared about y'all in between. Y'all were just there. I'm sorry to tell you the truth.
How are you going to compete with that ignorance? The reason why it's so dangerous and it's going to be the end for the Bliggities is because you can't compete with that. Like, you can't compete with somebody waking up out of the bed, just making something up and the Bliggities following it. Like, all your truth and facts don't even matter, because somebody can get out of bed, do this, make something up, and get 1 million Bliggities to follow it. Like, you can't compete with that. You can't. You got to just give them over. You got to just give them over.
So she's showing us what a sane, stable leader looks like.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh.
No, she's showing us what a sane, stable leader looks like.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh.
One more time.
No, she's showing us what a sane, stable leader looks like.
Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. The path may seem hard, the work may seem heavy, but joy cometh.
Hey, Keith, she like Debo. Keith said, "What you got on your ballot, homie?" Said Big Mike to turn into Debo. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Yes, that is MLK over her face. That is hilarious, man. But let's continue.
One nation under a groove, getting down just for the funk of it. Can I get it on the? Wow! One nation under a groove, getting down just for the funk of it. Can I get it on the? Wow!
Man, Kamala so whack, man. Kamala is so whack, y'all. She whack. She just whack, man. She is whack.
Just have a couple initial post-election thoughts. I've officially reached a point of anger, and I'm not an angry person, so I'm just trying to channel it. The first one being, this country does not deserve Kamala Harris. That woman should go live her best life wherever she wants, doing whatever she wants, because we don't deserve her at this point. The only people that delivered this election were Black women, and we failed them. Another one is, these people have to live in their own skin, as in JD Vance and Donald Trump have to be JD Vance and Donald Trump. And that is not a punishment I would wish upon anybody except those two individuals. I'm giving myself the week to be sad and to mourn what could have been, what should have been. But that's not where we are, and that's not reality. And I'm giving myself the week to accept that and to be in it. And then the work starts. So we got this, America. We're going to be okay.
I always find it comical when they say the work. What are they actually doing? Like, when they say the work, what are they doing? Like, what is the work? Like, what is the work? Like, honestly, what did Kamala Harris do during her campaign? She threw concerts and didn't answer any questions and laughed. Like, what did she do? She lied, threw concerts, laughed, didn't answer any questions. All she did was go shopping for outfits. She went shopping for outfits, got to go on tour, made all that money. What did she actually, what was the work she was doing? They keep saying the work. What are you doing? Right. For 4 years, she has done absolutely nothing. I'll never forget, before she came out and said she's running for president, folks were asking, where is Kamala? Literally, people were asking, where is Kamala? Thank you, the Deuce. She is a professional government employee. That's exactly what she is. That is exactly what she is. Oh, you know what? Let me go back real quick. Let me just. I want to do one video that I had that I wanted to, and I hope it's in here. Yep, got it right here.
Of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for.
This is not the outcome we wanted or we worked so hard for.
Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition.
Last night, I congratulated Donald Trump and offered to work with him on behalf of our country.
Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been intentional about building community and building coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background.
We've spent a year and a half bringing together millions of people from every corner of our country to say with one voice that we believe that the American dream is big enough for everyone.
To the young people who are watching, it is okay to feel sad and disappointed, but please know it's going to be okay.
To the young people in particular, I hope you will hear this.
On the campaign, I would often say, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing. Sometimes the fight takes a while. That doesn't mean we won't win. That doesn't mean we won't win.
This loss hurts, but please never stop believing that fighting for what's right is worth it.
Typical Democrat libtard, just recycle, rinse, what they say, rinse, wash, repeat, because they know that their base, who the people they're appealing to, they have very short memories. And that's one byproduct of being a liberal. They have very short memories. They've completely forgot about the Peter pandemic. That's 30 years ago to them. But yeah, just this woman raised $1 billion in 107 days, and y'all are talking about reparations. Kamala Harris raised $1 billion in 7 days. And I'm sorry, in 107 days. And you all are talking about reparations. Do the math on $1 billion per every 107 days. Let's go to some Jezebels.
I don't want nobody to be confused by my speech, you know, but I'm having a couple qualms, you know. It's not even about who people voted for. God bless America. Whoever you wanted to vote for is none of my business, but I'm starting to realize some of my Latin brothers and sisters in the great city of Miami, I thought y'all was on my side. Not like my side with politics or nothing, but like the way y'all talk about us. I go on Only Dade, a lot of racist render, a lot of racist rhetoric, as I would say. So I'm seeing my man's Donnie is out here doing these big deportations. You know, I've been very kind to you Uber drivers that don't speak English for the last couple years. I've been nice to a lot of people, but yeah, I'm about to drop dimes on y'all niggas. So like, when ICE come through, when ICE pull up, I don't want you to come try. I used to want to hide y'all niggas in the crib, but I'm starting to see a lot of racist rhetoric, and I think me and Donnie are aligning. It's time for deport them. Yeah, hit my line.
So in this video, he says, I don't care who you voted for, but I'm seeing a lot of racist rhetoric. This is another person that wanted Kamala to win, and he's upset. So he's looking for someone to blame, and the media told him to blame his. Again, I told you, the point behind all of this is to solidify their actual Democratic base, which is going to be radical and extreme. That's what they want. They want to get rid of all the sensible people out of there. Now, he said he used to want to hide them in his place of residence, but he should have been hiding that food. Looking like a modern day young Al Sharpton. I was just about to say that. Al Sharpton Whopper Jr. Al Sharpton Whopper.
I don't want nobody to be confused by my speech, you know, but
Al Sharpton Whopper Jr. He's back and bigger than ever. He's back and bigger than ever. But anyway, yeah, foolish.
Still calling them any black person vote for Trump is a regular old down home. That's what I'm gonna tell you. And if you don't like it, I said it. Trump ain't done nothing for black folks or Latinos. And if you're Latin and vote for Trump, you need to have your head examined.
My question is, you notice how they always say that Trump has anything for black people, as if Biden and Kamala Harris have, though. Like, they say that about Trump, like Biden and Kamala Harris did. Like, it's insane. It doesn't mean anything, just the grill. It don't mean nothing.
And I'm still calling them any black person vote for Trump is a regular old down home. That's what I'm gonna tell you. And if you don't like it, I said it. Trump ain't done nothing for black folks.
This dude has dyed his eyebrows and his mustache. This guy dyed his eyebrows.
Or Latinos. And if you're Latin and vote for Trump, you need to have your head examined.
He dyed his eyebrows. Wow. Angela said with a Sharpie. That's crazy. Do guys dye their eyebrows? That's doing too much, man. Just let the gray show. If you gotta put a magic marker on your eyebrows, just let it go, man. Just let it go. That's crazy.
African Americans built this nation.
Oh no. Not that one. I ain't gonna show that one. I had another video. I had another video. Is this it?
Gender insanity being.
Well, that one too, but not that one right now. I had another one. Is this it?
I want.
That's
what
not
I
at all
want
what it is.
is
Not telling you what you want.
So you
but
said
white women voters don't want that to happen to their husbands and sons.
You just said no. That's not what they want. I'm a part of that they.
No.
And what I'm saying, yes, I
You
am.
said white women.
No. What I am saying right now is that I believe in equity. And when I say equity, I want everyone to have a fair, level playing field. I do not want.
That's not the definition of equity. Take a look at Kamala Harris's 2020 campaign ad. Let's let Ashley
Just because you talk so much doesn't make you right, okay? A conversation is that.
Now, you know, in the comments of this video, they were saying she ate, she had to check her. You got to let them know sometimes. And the woman is referring to Kamala Harris's socialist campaign, socialist commercial that she did. And this girl is clueless because she never saw it. I know she didn't. She has no clue that Kamala Harris did a socialism commercial and basically said that folks should start out at the same level, which is insane. And she said, I want equity, everybody to have what she said, a fair start, or the same. I don't know what she's. That ain't equity. That I don't know what she's even talking about. That ain't equity. The definition of equity is the quality of being fair and impartial. That's equity. Let me start it over.
I want.
That's
what
not
I
at all
want
what it is.
is
not telling you what you want.
So you
but
said
white women voters don't want that to happen to their husbands and sons.
You just said no. That's not what they want. I'm a part of that they.
No.
And what I'm saying, yes, I
You
am.
said white women.
No. What I am saying right now is that I believe in equity. And when I say equity, I want everyone to have a fair, level playing field. I do not want.
That's not the definition of equity. Take a look at Kamala Harris's 2020 campaign ad. Let's let Ashley
Just because you talk so much doesn't make you right, okay? A conversation is that you listen, you actually hear what somebody says, and then we have a discourse. Just talking over someone doesn't make your point any stronger.
So they played that clip. Anyway, the lady was trying to explain to her that when Kamala Harris was talking about equity, she was talking about socialism. So basically, Kamala Harris, their version of equity is one person has done things to earn, let's say, $10. They want to give the person that has $0 $10 to match the person that earned their 10. That's what they're talking about. And the person that has $2 give them $8. They're trying to get everybody on the same level. And then as we advance, those people that you gave the money to are not going to surpass the folks that earned it. They're not. They don't have the work ethic or anything. Anyway, if you go watch that Kamala Harris commercial, and matter of fact, let me pull it up. Let me just pull it up real quick. Vic said he thought that was Dog from Bounty Hunter. Ooh, I got another video I'm gonna play. Hold on. Let me see. Kamala Harris, socialism. Socialism ad. Let me see. See if it'll pop up. Nope. They probably took it down. They probably took it down. I know I have it in my video file somewhere, but let me see. 2020 ad. Let me see. 2020. Yeah, they probably removed it for a campaign. Let me see. Equity. Let me put an equity ad. That might work. Equity. There we go. Different name. Okay, here we go.
The resources and the support they need so that everyone can be on equal footing and then compete on equal footing. Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place. So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests, oh, everyone should get the same amount. The problem with that, not everybody's starting out from the same place. So if we're all getting the same amount, but you started out back there and I started out over here, we can get the same amount, but you're still gonna be that far back behind me. It's about giving people the resources and the support they need so that everyone can be on equal footing and then compete on equal footing. Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place.
So again.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests, oh, everyone should get the same amount.
So again, based on what Kamala Harris is saying, she clearly said that equity is everybody ending up at the same destination. So we're just going to exclude work ethic, expertise, knowledge, all of that stuff, culture, and just say that in the end, everybody should end up in the same place, even if they haven't earned it. This is what they mean by equity. When they say equality, they're talking about, you know, the quote unquote equal access to society. But when it comes to equity, they're talking about what she said, which is this level playing field. The level playing field means no matter what I do, no matter what you do, we end up in the same place. Really what it means is the white person that earned their way, we're going to just fast forward ourselves to their same position. That's really what it means. So that way when that white person turns to their left and their right, they got to look at obligatory. That's all. That's what they're saying. Just that simple. But there was a... Is this it? No, that's not it. Oh, here we go. I found it.
Oh, I've got to say, I'm still in awe of Kim Clement's over a decade-old prophecy about Donald Trump's 2 terms in office. You got to check this out, and we all need to pray for Donald Trump's second term.
Trump shall become a trumpet, says the Lord. No, you didn't hear me. Trump shall become a trumpet. Are you listening to me? I will raise up the Trump to become a trumpet. There is a man by the name of Mr. Clark, and there is also another man by the name of Donald. You are both watching me saying, could it be that God's speaking to me? Yes, he is. And when it comes time for the election, you will be elected. There will be a praying president, not a religious one. For I will fool the people, says the Lord. I will fool the people. Yes, I will. God says, the one that is chosen shall go in, and they shall say, he has hot blood. For the Spirit of God says, yes, he may have hot blood, but he will bring the walls of protection on this country in a greater way, and the economy of this country shall change rapidly, says the Lord of hosts. Listen to the word of the Lord. God says, I will put at your helm for 2 terms a president that will pray, but he will not be a praying president when he starts. I will put him in office, and then I will baptize him with the Holy Spirit and my power, says the Lord of hosts. Come on!
I mean, it's kind of crazy that this guy predicted this. Maybe he is a prophet. Maybe he's a false prophet. Maybe he guessed. I don't know. Kenya said he's a false prophet. Vic said he's one of the men from Highlander. Oh my goodness. Y'all out of control, man. But it was years ago. I mean, you know, it's kind of crazy that he would be that accurate to say 2 terms, especially when he didn't, you know, win the last election. Well, he won, but he didn't get it. I just thought it was interesting. Hold on 1 second.
It hasn't even been a full week since Donald Jaquavius Trump got.
There's a guy that articulated this point that I liked. But I like the way he articulated it.
entire Kamala Harris campaign ran on this idea of women's rights. And you know what I find hilarious is now a lot of women that I'm seeing on social media, actual women, they're saying things like, well, now we're going to protest by not allowing men to sleep with us. So wait a second. You were so worried about losing your right to murder your child that now all of a sudden you have found the self-control to not sleep around and have pointless sex. Amazing. I never thought I would see the day, and that's all it took. Wow.
Yes, that's Gothix. She is awesome. This guy had another similar, I just like the way he said it though. I just don't see it. Matter of fact, you know what? I think it's over here. And it is. Here we go.
I have to sit here and sip my tea as I watch that male loneliness epidemic skyrocket.
Bro, you're a special one. You are a
definitely a special one. For everybody else, do you realize how quickly Donald Trump has just changed the dynamic in America? Do you see it? You see, where we were worried about before was abortions, right? Okay, cool. Keep that in mind. We just accomplished something that laws could never do. We created a natural, mind you, natural abstinence. Do you know what never occurs if they're abstaining from that act? An unwanted baby. You know what the result of that also is? No abortions. I think we should codify your guys' take. No willy-nilly sex. I love that idea. That man already starting to make moves, and he ain't even behind the Oval Office yet. That's insane.
They're talking about the Trump effect, but it's funny how these women want to use quote unquote morality as a weapon to fight against Trump. Any other time they're going to be decadent and heathens, but when it comes to Trump, now we're going to abstain and not, give our bodies to these men, and it's just crazy. Yeah, Marlon from Too Strong. Yes, that's Marlon from Too Strong. Yes. That was Marlon from Too Strongs, and then before him was Gothics. But let's continue.
California. We're going to be out $45,000 and there's no answers. To Dallas.
It's already an emotional journey. Not being able to carry your own child.
Hundreds of intended parents now out thousands of dollars.
I'm the owner of Surrogacy Escrow Account Management,
A business owned by Houston's Dominique Side, who in June informed clients of a quote bank issue. Now they don't know where their money has gone.
And this goes back to my point. Now, what the libtards have not figured out is that just because the media is portraying a group of people a certain way doesn't mean that it's true. So just because they tell you to go with this person because they're a person of color, that you're actually doing something that's good. First of all, if you are a libtard and you go to a state that predominantly votes red, I don't believe that you should be allowed to go there and try to turn it blue. I just don't. I don't believe that it's right for you to leave a place because of Democratic policies and then go somewhere else and try to turn that place Democratic. That's evil. It's wrong. Because at that point, now you're voting as a weapon. And to me, it's wrong. It's wrong for these folks coming from these liberal places, going to these places that aren't liberal and trying to turn them liberal. It's like, it's insane. No. So these libtarded couples saw this woman of color, this queen, advertising her services, and they felt we can kill two birds with one stone. We can get a baby and we can help the Bliggities. We can tell our friends that we went through a black-owned, I don't know what the business, I'm dealing with having children, but I don't know. But anyway, whatever this business is, with having getting pregnant or whatever. But so we killed two birds with one stone. But they forgot one thing. That most oftentimes the stereotypes about the Bliggities are true. And what I know is what you all were too dumb to see. There's no way in the world I'm giving somebody or a Bliggity 40 racks. She got a fade too. Hold up. You think I'm gonna give a queen with a fade $40,000? Are you crazy? You think I'm gonna give a queen 40 racks with a fade? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
California. We're going to be out $45,000 and there's no answers. To Dallas.
It's already an emotional journey. not being able to carry your own child.
Hundreds of intended parents now out thousands of dollars.
I'm the owner of Surrogacy Escrow Account Management,
A business owned by Houston's Dominique Side, who in June informed clients of a quote bank issue now. They don't know where their money has gone. In paperwork filed late Tuesday, attorneys claim Side transferred more than $6 million to her other businesses. She did not show up to hear in person the scheme she's accused of pulling.
They were used for Dominique's own life, to fund her lifestyle, to fund her businesses, to grow her businesses, and essentially to hide it from all of the intended families that lost so much.
These libtards got what they deserved because they went to this woman based on a virtue signal, which is evil. You went to her because of the color of her skin. There are plenty of people offering the service that she offers, but you went to her because you said we can kill two birds with one stone, we can carry a child, and we can brag about how we went to a person of color. And it backfired. Now you out of $45,000 and you're still going to go to Texas and vote blue. I have no sympathy for you. I just don't. She didn't show up to court. She transferred all that money to other businesses. She going to file bankruptcy for this. She's going to close this business down. She's going to close this business down. Mark my words. She's going to bankrupt this business and go to other businesses. This woman then got $6 million that they can verify. Now, they're trying to make you believe that if you're skeptical of this woman, that you're racist. But my question is, how did you verify this woman? Who'd you talk to? What'd you research? Did you really dig? $45,000? I'm pretty sure she had complaints online. I'm pretty sure she has pending lawsuits. Like, I'm pretty sure she has a lot of things that are pointing to her being a horrible business person. But you all are libtards. You don't think, you just move on emotion. And look at the guy. I mean, how could they win? How can they win with a guy like this? You can't win with a guy like this. Ladies, don't ever get with a guy with a narrow chest. Ladies, don't ever get with a guy that has a narrow chest. If you can do this to his chest with your hands, don't do it. There's a reason why he has a narrow chest, because in a time when society collapses, he'll be a gatherer. He won't be a hunter. He will be next to you picking roots and shrubs out of the ground, but he won't be a hunter. Let's continue.
How long have you guys been together?
2.5 years.
If he cheated on you, would you give him another shot?
Probably. Yeah, I have before.
You know, in life you make mistakes, and you know, if God blesses you with a second chance, you just got to pay attention to it.
Why didn't you just get up and leave?
Because I just loved him. I love him so much, and I know he's better than that.
You didn't feel like you'd find another him out there in the world?
I didn't want to. I wanted him to be the good man I know him to be.
You don't think that as a man we just will always have that itch or that want to experience new things and new women?
Possibly, but that's why you gotta keep it interesting. You gotta give him what he needs and everything he wants.
So how do you...
All that, you know. Cockatoo.
So I want to talk about this video. So basically, this woman said something that was very profound in this video. Now, many people in the comments are saying that this guy's a bad person. He cheated on her before. He doesn't love her. You can tell by how he's acting, you know, all these things. And, you know, he's using her. She needs to value herself, move on, all these things. but I'm going to give my take.
34. How long have you guys been together?
2.5 years.
If he cheated on you, would you give him another shot?
Probably. Yeah, I have before.
You know, in life you make mistakes, and you know, if God blesses you with a second chance, you just got to pay attention to it.
Why didn't you just get up and leave?
Because I just loved him. I love him so much, and I know he's better than that.
You didn't feel like you'd find another him out there in the world.
I didn't want to. I wanted him to be the good man I know him to be.
So what she said right here was profound. What she said was, the guy said, well, why didn't you want to go out there and find another guy? She said, I didn't want another guy. And this is what people have to come to the realization on. When it comes to this thing called life, either you're going to change your desires or you're going to give in to them. So your wants and desires have to be changed from the root. Otherwise, you're going to give in to them. She said, I don't want anybody else. I want him. And so there's a guy out there, or many of guys, that will give her 110%. But those guys giving 110% doesn't compare to this guy's 25%. That's the difference. She'd rather have 25% from him than 110% from those other guys. And guess what? I can't knock that. I can't knock a woman saying, I know this man to be a good man, and I'm going to love the good man out of him. Now, guess what? People can say she's foolish. People can say she's dumb. She's getting played. She got low self-esteem. She got daddy. They can say whatever they want to say. But she's doing what? Does she look miserable? Does she look miserable? Does she look sad? Does she look unhappy? No. She looks very happy because she has the man that she wants. And she's saying, I'm willing to pay the cost to be with this man. I can't knock that. How she articulated herself, I respect it. I don't want those other men. I don't want them. She acknowledges they may be out there, but I don't want them. I want him. I can't argue with that. And many of you all can learn a lesson from her, because many of you all relationships, marriages included, mostly have failed because you all didn't have the kind of blind dedication that she has. This woman says, I don't care. I'm going to love him because that's who I want to love. And I'll take whatever comes with it. That's what she's saying. Now, many of you all have been married and gotten married and never had this attitude. If you married couples had her attitude, y'all would have never got divorced and you wouldn't be miserable. If you had this blind optimism about your significant other, you would never, ever have a miserable or unhappy marriage, and you wouldn't have it. This woman is ecstatic that this man is here, and he clearly is not that ecstatic about her. Like I said, he probably give it 25%. Other guys may give 110, but his 25% is 1,000 compared to their 110%. And play it again. EWP said it's sad, but it's not sad. Well, what's embarrassing when she said Hakatua, that was embarrassing. But what I'm telling you all is it's not sad. This is who she, think about this. She's not going to be happy with another man. She's not going to be happy with another man. So why would she torture herself with a guy that she knows she's not going to be happy with? She'd make his life miserable as well. Think about y'all are telling her to leave this guy to go somewhere else and be miserable. Doesn't make any sense. She said, I'm willing to pay the toll to be with this guy. This is what she said. She said, I'm willing to love him until he becomes the man that I believe that he is. I got to respect that. And if married couples had this ideology, had this type of faith, had this type of patience, had this type of long suffering, had this type of optimism, had this type of dedication and sacrifice, they never get divorced and the marriage will be happy ever after. So I can't knock this woman. I'm gonna play it again.
35.
34. How long have you guys been together?
2.5 years.
If he cheated on you, would you give him another shot?
Probably. Yeah, I have before.
You know, in life you make mistakes, and you know, if God blesses you with a second chance, you just got to pay attention to it.
Why didn't you just get up and leave?
Because I just loved him. I love him so much, and I know he's better than that.
You didn't feel like you'd find another him out there in the world.
I didn't want to. I wanted him to be the good man I know him to be.
You don't think that as a man we just will always have that itch or that want to experience new things and new women?
Possibly, but that's why you got to keep it interesting. You got to give him what he needs and everything he wants.
So how do you
all that? You know, Hakatu.
I think a lot of this right here too, though. I think he's kind of like an introverted person. Like, I don't think he's like a very, like, I think he's kind of laid back and reserved too. So I think some of this is that he don't want to feel embarrassed by what she's saying. But at the same time, though, she didn't say he's cheating currently. We don't know what he's doing now. But I think a lot of this is just him kind of being kind of nervous, not really wanting to talk in front of the camera, you know, but we're just assuming that he's just dogging her out. And we don't know that. People say he seems miserable. They've been together 2.5 years. I don't know if he's miserable, but I mentioned a joke saying he's giving 25%. But at the end of the day, though, he's there with her. Somebody said he may marry, he may not marry, he might not. But at this moment, this is who she wants. Even if he left her, say, I'm done, I'm gonna let you go, she's still gonna want to be with him. She's not gonna want to not be with this guy. I'm just saying. So no, they're not married. I mean, of course they should not be fornicating, but no, they're not married. Vic said, I feel like this is the movie Get Out, but the reverse. This is the movie called Get In. Not Get Out, Get In. Oh, man, this is funny. Yeah, man. But again, though, that's why I said either you go to the root of things and you change your wants and desires through the relationship with Christ, you know, or you are going to indulge in your desires and wants. You only have two options. So either she gives her life to Christ and let the Holy Spirit change her wants and desires, or she's going to be with this guy. It just is what it is. So if she's not going to go the route of have a relationship with Christ, then the next best thing is for her to be with who she wants to be with. But I believe this guy is more introverted than she is. I think he's a lot more laid back, and I think she likes that about him. I think he's kind of nervous in front of the camera, though. And I honestly believe that she cares about this guy just by the way she's looking at him. Like she's like she cares about this guy. And the guy said if he cheated, we'd take him back again. She was like, probably, yeah, I would. Because she's already saying he's a work in progress. Thank you, Cruise Missile, for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Always supporting. Thank you, Sewing for Night, for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, T, for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Jamie T, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And Khalil Abdul Malik up in Canada. Keep it up, Blanche. Look up A Righteous Perspective. Whoa. Black woman goes off on Kamala Harris and the Democrat. Oh, shoot. And the Democratic Party. I'm going to look it up. A Righteous Perspective. I'm assuming it's on YouTube. But thank you, Khalil. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. He's been trying to escape Canada for a while now. Hopefully he can get out. Remember they had movies like Escape from LA, Escape from New York. It's crazy how it's like that in real life now. Escape from Toronto. Anyway, you all, I love you all. Thank you all so much. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Thank you, Angel Wings, for moderating. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You always come through. Thank you. And thank y'all for keeping the chat lit. I love you all, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Thank you.